Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right. What is our topic for today? Our topic for today is selling and buying a new car, okay? Or maybe a new work car, or maybe a car that you need to get from A to B. I'm a salesperson, so one of the things that I needed to do is I need to have good, dependable transportation. And here recently, my son is getting ready to graduate from high school, so I wanted to give him my good car while it was still available. And you know, if you go in there to try to trade in your car, unfortunately, you won't get a lot of money for it. But this car that I had was a beautiful car, great shape, just needs a little bit of work, a little bit of repair work on it, and he'll have a really nice car for college. A lot of kids don't have that, but see, I'm one of these kind of dads that cares. And so what I did was I planned this in my mind for months. You know, sometimes if you want something, you have to set a goal, you have to think about it. And see, one of the things was I hadn't bought a car in a long time, about 11, 12 years. It was a long time. I love my car. It wasn't as pretty as it was the day I bought it, but it looked still real good because I kept it, and I kept it under, you know, a thing where it was covered. So it was always covered, and the paint job looked real good, and I always took care of the maintenance on it because that's the kind of person I am. But our subject for today is selling and how to buy a new car, and what do you do? What's going on in this society? It's a different world today, and you can go down to the car lots, because I went down to 3 of them, and I looked around and stuff, but there's so much inventory, I just didn't know what. I was like, man, there's got to be something out here. And I had a price range. I had went down to my local bank, and I went ahead and got them to go ahead and get me pre-approval. Now, I had a basic price range that I was trying to stay with. I had a budget that I was trying to stay in. And so I knew what I needed because I had a payment that I wanted to stay comfortable in. The reason being is because when I get my son a new car, or should I say when I give him my older car, he's going to have insurance. And I went and looked at the prices on insurance, and man, I'm going to tell you what, it is expensive. It's like buying a brand new car, and it's under 500 bucks. And I'm gonna tell you what, that's a lot of money. I mean, it may not be a lot to you, but it's a lot for me. And so I went down there to the bank, and you know, they pull your good credit to make sure you got good credit. They let you know if you got financing. So they gave me instant financing because, you know, my mom, I give my mom credit, and thank you, God, for a great mother who taught me how to pay my bills and pay them on time. So they gave you the capability to get instant financing. Some people have to go, you know, it takes a couple of days, but it depends. And so going to underwriting and whatever. And so they told me what my monthly payment would be within a particular price range of a dollar value that I was trying to borrow. And also I wanted to make sure that they had this thing called gap insurance. Let's just say, for instance, you buy a car and you owe more on the car than it's actually worth. What do? You suck it up and you pay that damn note until it's paid off. But see, the bank gave me the capability just for a little bit of extra money every month that would go towards the gap insurance, and it would pay the car payment off if it got hurt and broken. It wasn't worth what it was buying or selling for. So I got that, and I also got the disability insurance in case you get hurt and you can't work and so forth. They're going to go ahead and pay the note for you until you get back on your feet. And I thought that was a really good idea, and it was just a couple of extra dollars. And again, it was in my price range. But remember, I told you I had to get insurance, so I knew my value of how much money I want to spend. I'm a salesman. I make a lot of money. I get a chance to help a lot of people, but sometimes you get the good days, bad days, and some days you don't sell nothing, you don't make no money, so you have to put money away for rainy days, and you got to know how to live within your means. A lot of times people don't. They live outside their means, and they will come take that car, and they will pick it up, and you will have bad credit and worse credit. You won't be able to get anything but old hoopty. Well, what did old Gary do? So what I did was I went online. Like I said, I had went to a couple of car dealerships. I went to 3 different ones. But what I did also was, before I went and started looking online, I never, you know, I bought a car online or anything before, but it gave me the capability to see what was on people's lots in different areas. It also gave me some like CarMax, Carfax, and I decided that when I started looking, it started amazing when I was on Facebook that it kept showing up all these cars that and all these different companies that were selling them. It was weird. It was like somebody was listening to me, and I said, okay. So I started looking at all these different companies that were selling their cars, and I wanted to, and I kind of stuck. I went with Carfax. Because what I did was I started looking at a particular type of car. I wanted a muscle car, and they gave me, like I said, enough money, but it wasn't enough money to be able to buy a more current car, 2019 or 2021. They gave me enough money on a muscle car. You know, you could get a 2015, but heck, when you buy a car like that, you can get a car that's got more miles on it than you really want to. And then sometimes, like I said, I had a particular price range, and when I looked at the cars and everything, some of them were about $6,000 to $8,000 more than I wanted to spend. And the reason why is because I had my price range, and I wasn't going to balk from that. Now, I did look around. I saw some great cars, and I bought one. Oh my gosh, I bought me this beautiful car. It's got leather interior, leather seats and everything, and it was in my price range. And it also only had the particular amount of miles that were low mileage for a new car. And for me in 2019, because like I said, I normally would buy a brand new car. I had for years and years, and this time I decided, well, I'm going to get a car that that's already been depreciated. Because as soon as you take, you know, a car off the lot, I went and looked to see how much this car would have cost if I would have bought it brand new, and man, that was a sticker shock. It scared the crap out of me. I was thinking, man, somebody was going to bend me over and take my money from it, take my wallet. So I decided, like I said, I did my research. Old Clark Howard talks about buying it, you know, used and new. And so I was like, you know, I listened to people, and I really didn't need a car. So I wasn't under duress like some people when they need to buy a car. So I went down there and I looked at some cars and couldn't see anything, because you got all these cars on the lot. And then if you tell them how much money you got, they're going to know how much money they ain't going to give you. They're going to put you in something, and they'll take all your money, because you got to pay doc stamp. That's a little hidden charge where it pays the dealer for you buying the damn car from them, okay? And also you're going to have to pay taxes and title. And that can be a couple, $2,000 or $3,000. And if you have your letter, and see, they'll try to sell you also extended warranties and maintenance agreements, and their warranties, which can cost $2,000 or $3,000, if not more. Tire services, it's a bunch of stuff. But I already have full coverage insurance. I always make sure I have full coverage insurance. If you're buying a brand new car, if you're using it for work, you want to make sure that you've got a lot of insurance that cover you and your assets, okay? You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your sales guy. Give me a thumbs up and share my videos, and please subscribe, okay? And listen, what I did was I went online, I saw these cars, and what happened, when I was looking at cars, they kept giving suggestions of other cars, and I had a genre of car. I like a sedan. I like a really nice car. Besides, I was going to buy a Corvette, a Mustang. I was looking at a 370Z, and I'm like, wow, man, these are nice cars. I really like them. But it seemed like everybody was buying them up left and right, because I guess it's tax season. People were buying them, and they were selling really, really quick. And the key to success in this regard for me was that I started looking at cars that were in my budget. I knew that there was going to be a payment of about $1,500 to $2,000. So I finally found the one that I liked. It was colorful. It had all the bells and the whistles. It had low mileage. It had already pre-tinted windows. It had leather interior. It had all the things that old Gary just would have and love. Like I said, I went and looked at the lot. I went and seen what a brand new one was, and it looked almost the same. And so I decided to save my money and go ahead and reach out to the dealer. They gave you a telephone number, plus Carfax, they gave you information about who owned that vehicle. They also gave you information about the maintenance that was done on it. They gave you the information as far as had it been in the wrecks. It gave you a bunch of information that without that information you wouldn't know. You're just going to go buy a car. You would, and it also gave you where it came from and who was the last. It gave you basically the area of where it was bought from and how much it was bought for. It gave you all of this great information, and I'm very grateful. And I did my research. So with that in mind, I finally picked the one that I liked, and I wanted to get it. And I was out working at a model home. I was working one of Adam's homes, which is, you know, I'm a realtor, and I sell real estate, and I sell other stuff too. And when I was out, the guy says, well, we can bring the car out to you. You can go ahead and look it over and everything. Just make sure, you know, you got insurance. And I said, yeah, I've got full coverage. I always do. And old dude brought it over, and he drove up, and I was like, whoa, that's the car for me, honey. Well, let me go ahead and, you know, kind of be tough, you know, not too tough. I'm cordial. I was real nice. And I walked around it, and I looked, and I kicked the tires and everything. And then I looked at it, and I said, well, this is a beautiful car. And he said, let's go for a ride. So we went driving, and we drove down a country road, and man, I put the mile on it. I went, yeah. I gunned it, and I didn't hear no noise. He showed me all the bells and whistles with the air conditioning and also the backup system. And I can also use my phone hands-free when I'm doing my calls for my business and everything. And also it'll connect right directly to GPS, so I can do my GPS. It also gave me the capability to be able to watch my YouTube videos and stuff, or listen to stuff on my phone via Bluetooth. And I saw, wow, a hands-free phone, wow. And I was excited. Like I said, I was buying a new car. It's been a long time. So if you're out there selling cars, you may not know this, but people who are buying cars, we like bells and whistles. We like all the features and benefits. And I looked under the hood, and it was smooth. I said, dang, this is a real nice car. And I said, well, listen, I'd like to go ahead and buy this car. And so I said, it's got, before we did that, you know, I told him I'd like to buy this car. I said, this is how much money I have, and I don't want to pay any more money out of pocket. And then after they were done and everything, he met what I needed to do, but I did have to pay $89 out of my pocket for a transfer of tag, which I thought, that's not too much money out of my pocket. And I got my monthly payment to what I wanted. And they tried to, like I said, when I went down there, they wanted me to, you know, hey, we can get you a better rate than that. And the reason why they said that, because they were trying to sell me some more stuff. They were trying to sell me some extra stuff that I just wasn't willing to work. Now, also remember, when you buy a new car, you've hopefully got some type of a guarantee or a warranty on it. Now, from this particular manufacturer, it was 120,000 miles, but when you sell the car, it goes down to 60,000 miles. So I ended up having about 40-something thousand miles of being able to have protection from the manufacturer's warranty. Again, you have the capability to buy more guarantee and services and stuff, but they were wanting like $3,500, and I had already met and matched where I wanted to be financially. So I waited out and made a decision. Now I buy guarantees and service agreements pretty much on everything I have, but the warranty was really good that they had left on the car. And again, I'm using it for my business and so forth. So you can also buy outside insurance. I got a friend of mine bought some on his car that protects it bell to bell, and it's very affordable. So, you know, I may check into that. But see, here's the thing. I was in my price range. I was in my budget. I knew that I needed to buy a car. So what I wanted to do, guys, is just share this information with you, let you know that, you know, if you're out there looking for a car, do your research. You can go online, but you need to be quick, because, see, like houses, people want to buy those daggone cars. And I got mine from a reputable company, a Cadillac dealership in St. Augustine. They had traded it in for a Cadillac, so I knew that whoever had this car before, they like good cars. They wanted to take good care of cars. So that kind of gave me a heads up and a thumbs up. And I thought, well, you know, I pretty much got a good deal. And so remember, guys, when you're out there buying a new car, do your research, go online. And if you've never bought anything online, it can be a little scary. It can be a little frustrating. But you know what? Sometimes you have to do stuff that's outside the box, because this is the new future that we live in. And like I said, I called the guy. The guy was real nice and everything. It's just another way for them to sell cars and for people to buy cars, to go on the lot. It's like the old days. Some people still like to do that. I like to do that. I went out and looked at it and looked at cars, and just like I said, I went online, bought my car. I'm really happy that I bought my car. I got a good car. My son's going to have a great car. I'm going to have the capability to work, and I can bring customers, because look at my back seat, leather interior, fine car. People think you're doing pretty good. And see, when people think you're doing pretty good, they want the best salespeople to sell them stuff. Or should I say help them get stuff. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your sales guy, and today we just had a wonderful conversation about selling, how to buy a new car, and what you got to run into. And like I said, I stayed within my means. I really wanted to buy the sports car and stuff like that. But see, here's the thing. I know that within another year or 2 or 3 years from now, I'm going to buy me one of those cars. And it could be sooner than that. I don't know. But like I said, I made a decision to spend my money wisely and got a nice town car. Got a great deal on it. Stayed within my means. I'm able to pay my monthly payments without having to worry about it. And remember, if you buy a new car, make sure you pay that thing off faster. Put more money towards the principal, and you can pay a 5-year note, 6-year note off in 2 or 3. And that's what I do. So I always pay my cars off ahead of time. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. We just had a great conversation on how to buy a new car, selling. If you're out there buying a new car, go ahead and get you one. Get you something decent. But remember, you got to pay that bill, so you might as well go ahead and get something you like. But you also want to make sure you live within your means. I hope you enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up and share my videos. And please subscribe. Y'all have a wonderful day. And if you ain't out there selling, oh crap, you're going to need a new car. You better get something that's affordable. All right.